The Oneirophage fleet hung silently in Earth's orbit, their obsidian vessels absorbing starlight like cosmic leeches. Admiral Vexthor stood on the bridge of the flagship, his 6 eyes fixed on the blue planet below. His species had traversed galaxies in search of the most potent psychic energy source, and they'd finally found it. Human dreams. Status report, Vexthor demanded, his voice a grating whisper. Ljud zikara aprorochit, her tentakles riditing nervosly. My lord, the dream extractors are primed and ready. We await your command. Vexthor's mandibles clicked in anticipation. Excellent. Begin the harvest. Across the globe, humans slept peacefully, unaware of the alien presence above. In New York, Jasper Thorne tossed and turned, his dreams a swirling mix of ambition and fear. In Tokyo, Dr. Megumi Kato dreamed of groundbreaking medical discoveries. In Lagos, Oluwaseun Adebayo's dreams were filled with the rhythms of music yet to be composed. As the clock struck midnight in each time zone, the Oneirophage technology activated. Invisible tendrils of psychic energy reached down from the ships, penetrating the minds of sleeping humans. Dreams began to flow upward, a stream of vibrant colors and emotions. On the flagship, Vexthor watched with growing excitement as the first dreams were processed. Incredible, he exclaimed, his exoskeleton vibrating with joy. The complexity, the intensity, we've never encountered anything like this. Lieutenant Ziwaxera monitored the incoming data. My lord, the energy levels are off the charts. Our storage units are filling faster than anticipated. Push harder, Vexthor commanded. I want every drop of dream essence we can extract. As the night progressed, the harvest intensified. Millions of human minds were tapped simultaneously, their dreams siphoned away to fuel the alien fleet. But something unexpected began to happen. In a small town in the American Midwest, Evelyn Marsh, a trauma survivor, fell into a deep, troubled sleep. As the alien technology probed her mind, it encountered something dark and terrifying. Aboard the flagship, alarms blared. Ziwaxera's tentacles flailed in panic. Admiral, we're detecting an anomaly in the dream stream. Vexthor leaned forward, his compound eyes widening. What kind of anomaly? Before Ziwaxera could answer, a wave of psychic energy surged through the ship. Crew members recoiled, clutching their heads in agony. Visions of unspeakable horrors flooded their minds. What is this? Vexthor shrieked, his exoskeleton cracking under the psychic assault. Ziwaxera struggled to maintain composure. It appears to be a nightmare, my lord, but unlike anything we've ever encountered. The nightmare spread through the fleet like a virus, infecting the alien minds with images of primal fears, personal traumas, and the darkest corners of human imagination. Vexthor watched in horror as his crew writhed in mental anguish. Shut it down, he screamed. Shut it all down. But it was too late. The nightmare had taken hold, and the dream harvesters couldn't distinguish between dreams and this new, terrifying phenomenon. As dawn broke over Earth, the Oneirophage fleet trembled in orbit, their crews trapped in a hellscape of human fears. Vexthor, his mind barely clinging to sanity, realized with dawning terror that they had grossly underestimated their prey. They came to steal dreams, but instead, they had unleashed something far more powerful and dangerous. As the first rays of sunlight touched the planet below, humans began to wake, feeling strangely drained but unaware of the cosmic battle that had raged while they slept. And high above, an alien armada learned the hard way that in the realm of the subconscious, humanity reigned supreme. As Earth rotated into its next night cycle, the Oneirophage fleet hung in disarray. The alien crews, still reeling from the psychic assault, struggled to make sense of what had happened. Admiral Vexthor, his once pristine exoskeleton now cracked and oozing, gathered his top officers in the command center. Report, damn you, he snarled, his voice hoarse from hours of screaming. Commander Nixall, her usual azure hue, now a sickly pale, stepped forward. My lord, the nightmares. They've contaminated our dream storage units. We can't process them. Vexthor's mandibles clacked in frustration. Then purge the systems. We came here for dreams, not this. This madness. We've tried, Admiral, Lieutenant Zyxera interjected, her tentacles twitching erratically. But the nightmares, they're alive somehow. They're evolving. As if on cue, the ship's alarms blared to life. The main view screen flickered, showing chaos erupting across the fleet. Crew members ran amok, their minds trapped in personalized hells. Some clawed at their own bodies, trying to escape imaginary horrors. Others huddled in corners, wide-eyed and babbling incoherently. Opposite, Vexthor roared. But deep in his thorax, a cold dread began to spread. On Earth, blissfully unaware of the alien presence, humans settled in for another night's sleep. In her small Midwestern home, Evelyn Marsh tossed fitfully in her bed, her subconscious still grappling with years of buried trauma. As the Oneirophage dream extractors activated once more, they latched onto Evelyn's turbulent psyche. Her nightmare, a swirling vortex of repressed memories and primal fears, surged through the alien technology like a tidal wave. Aboard the flagship, Nixol watched in horror as new alarms sounded. Admiral, it's happening again, but it's stronger this time. Vexthor stumbled to the control panel, his legs barely supporting him. Shut it down! Cut the link! But it was too late. Evelyn's nightmare, amplified by the alien tech, exploded outward. It rippled through the fleet, breaking through mental barriers and infecting every Oneirophage it touched. Crew members fell to the ground, writhing in agony. Their minds were assaulted with visions of dark forests filled with unseen predators, of bottomless oceans teeming with ancient horrors, of a world where loved ones turned into monstrous betrayers. Vexthor felt his own psyche cracking under the onslaught. What are these humans? He gasped. Through the haze of terror, Zyxera managed to access a data terminal. My lord, it seems the nightmares are a defense mechanism. The humans, they're not defenseless as we thought. Their minds are battlegrounds. As the night wore on, the situation aboard the fleet deteriorated rapidly. The nightmares, feeding on the aliens' own fears, grew stronger and more vivid. Entire sections of ships fell silent, their crews lost in catatonic states or driven to self-harm by the relentless mental assault. In a moment of lucidity, Vexthor realized the grave error they had made. We came here thinking we were the predators, he wheezed, his exoskeleton now more fractured than solid. But we're not. We're the prey. As dawn approached, Evelyn Marsh awoke with a start, her heart pounding. She felt drained, yet oddly triumphant, as if she'd fought a great battle in her sleep. Shaking off the feeling, she went about her day, never knowing the havoc her troubled mind had wreaked upon an alien armada. High above, the Oneirophage fleet drifted aimlessly. Their once mighty ships were now filled with the screams of the insane and the eerie silence of the comatose. The nightmare had been unleashed, and there was no containing it. Vexthor, his mind teetering on the brink of oblivion, realized with growing dread that they had not only failed in their mission, but had also awakened something far more terrifying than they could have ever imagined. The nightmare was no longer confined to human minds. It had found new hosts, and it was hungry for more. As Earth spun peacefully below, blissfully unaware, the alien fleet faced a harrowing question. How do you fight an enemy that lives in your own mind? The Oneirophage fleet, once a symbol of interstellar might, now drifted in Earth's orbit like a cosmic graveyard. Inside the flagship, Admiral Vexthor huddled in the darkest corner of his quarters, all six of his eyes wide with terror. The nightmares had taken root, transforming the ship's interior into a hellscape of the crew's worst fears. Status report. Vexthor croaked, his voice barely a whisper. Lieutenant Zyxera, her tentacles now withered and pale, emerged from the shadows. It's bad, Admiral. Half the fleet is dark. The rest, madness reigns. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the corridors, making both aliens flinch. The nightmares were no longer confined to sleep. They walked the halls, took physical form, preyed on the weakened minds of the Oneirophage. Meanwhile, on Earth, the first signs of the alien presence began to manifest. In New York, Jasper Thorne woke up screaming, sweat-soaked sheets tangled around him. The eyes in the dark, he gasped, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Across the globe, similar scenes played out. Dr. Megumi Kato in Tokyo found herself unable to enter her lab, paralyzed by an inexplicable fear of her own research. In Lagos, Oluwaseun Adebayo's music studio became a chamber of horrors. Each note, he played summoning visions of cosmic dread. Back on the alien flagship, Commander Nixol burst into Vex Thor's quarters, her usual composure shattered. "Admiral, we've lost control of the Dream Extractors. They're reversing." Vex Thor's exoskeleton paled. "What do you mean, reversing?" Before Nixol could answer, the ship lurched violently. The view screens flickered to life, showing a terrifying sight. Tendrils of dark energy, pulsing with nightmarish visions, were flowing from the ships, reaching down towards Earth. "By the void," ZYXera whispered. "We're not just experiencing their nightmares. We're amplifying them, broadcasting them back to the planet." On Earth, the situation escalated rapidly. Evelyn Marsh, the unwitting catalyst of this cosmic horror, found herself at the center of a growing storm. As she walked down the street of her small town, reality itself seemed to warp around her. Shadows lengthened impossibly, reaching out with clawed hands. The sky darkened, filling with writhing shapes that defied description. Evelyn's neighbors began to succumb to the nightmares. Some barricaded themselves in their homes, while others ran screaming into the streets, trying to escape horrors only they could see. In orbit, Vex Thor made a desperate decision. "We have to sever the connection. It's the only way to stop this." Nixol shook her head, mandibles clicking in despair. "It's too late, Admiral. The nightmares, they've become self-sustaining. They're feeding off our fear, off the humans' fear. It's a feedback loop of terror." As if to punctuate her words, a massive tremor shook the ship. Cracks appeared in the hull, dark energy seeping through like blood from a wound. "What's happening?" ZYXera shrieked. Vex Thor, his mind clearing for a moment in the face of imminent destruction, realized the horrifying truth. "We're not just transmitting nightmares, we're manifesting them. Our technology, it's making them real." On Earth, the effects were catastrophic. Major cities found themselves under assault by creatures born of humanity's collective fears. In New York, a writhing mass of tentacles and eyes emerged from the East River. Tokyo faced a kaiju straight out of ancient legends, its roar shattering skyscrapers. Lagos was overrun by shadowy figures that moved too fast to see, leaving only screams in their wake. Military forces scrambled to respond. But how do you fight an enemy pulled straight from your deepest fears? In her small town, Evelyn Marsh stood in the eye of the storm. As chaos erupted around her, she felt a strange calm settle over her. Years of facing her own demons had prepared her for this moment. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and did the one thing no one expected. She embraced the nightmare. In that instant, something shifted. The dark tendrils connecting Earth to the alien fleet pulsed, carrying not just fear, but something new. Something the Oneirophage had never encountered before. Aboard the flagship, Vex Thor, Nixol, and ZYXera watched in awe as a new energy signature appeared on their screens. What I asked that? Nixol gasped. Vex Thor, his scientific curiosity momentarily overriding his terror, leaned in to study the readings. It's coming from the planet. From a single human mind, but it's not a nightmare. It's acceptance, courage in the face of fear. As Evelyn's mental state resonated through the psychic link, a ripple effect spread across the globe. Humans, faced with their worst fears made manifest, began to fight back not with weapons, but with sheer force of will. The alien fleet, caught in the crossfire of this psychic battle, shuddered. The nightmares that had taken hold began to lose their grip, confused by this new emotional input they couldn't comprehend. Vex Thor, witnessing the turn of events, made a fateful decision. "Brace for impact," he roared. "We're going down." As the Oneirophage ships began to plummet towards Earth, burning up in the atmosphere, Vex Thor realized that in their quest to harvest dreams, they had unleashed something far more powerful: the indomitable human spirit. The night sky lit up with the fiery destruction of the alien fleet, a cosmic light show that marked the beginning of a new chapter in human history. The nightmare wasn't over, but humanity had proven that even in the darkest of times, there was always a spark of hope. And somewhere in a small Midwestern town, Evelyn Marsh stood tall, ready to face whatever came next. The dawn broke over a world forever changed. As the last remnants of the Oneirophage fleet burned up in Earth's atmosphere, humanity faced the aftermath of a battle fought not with weapons, but with the power of the mind. In Washington, D.C., General Axel Ironside stood before a panel of world leaders, his face grim. "Ladies and gentlemen, we face an unprecedented threat. The alien incursion may have been defeated, but the psychic fallout remains." Screens lit up around the room, showing scenes of chaos from around the globe. New York streets writhed with shadowy tentacles. Tokyo's skyline was marred by a shimmering, kaiju-shaped mirage. In Lagos, people walked in fear, jumping at shadows that moved too fast to see. The nightmares, they become semi-corporeal, a scientist explained, her voice trembling. A merger of human fear and alien technology. We're calling them THOUGHDF4MS. In the small Midwestern town that had become Ground Zero, Evelyn Marsh found herself surrounded by a team of government agents and scientists. Dr. Lyra Quantum, a leading expert in theoretical physics and psychic phenomena, approached her cautiously. "Ms. Marsh," Dr. Quantum began, "your mind, it's extraordinary. You didn't just resist the alien influence. You turn it back on them. We need your help." Evelyn, still processing the cosmic horror she'd faced, nodded slowly. "What can I do?" Meanwhile, in the ruins of the Oneirophage flagship that had crashed in the Mojave Desert, a team of researchers made a startling discovery. Admiral Vex Thor, barely clinging to life, was pulled from the wreckage. "Containment Team to Sector 7, a voice boomed over the intercom. "We have a live one." As Vex Thor was rushed to a secure facility, his mind raced. The nightmare assault had shattered his psyche, but in its fractured state, he had gained a new understanding. "The dreamscape," he muttered deliriously. "It's a battlefield we never knew existed." Back in Washington, General Ironside outlined humanity's response plan. "Operation Mindstorm," he announced, his voice echoing through the chamber. "We fight fire with fire, or in this case, thought with thought." Around the world, a new initiative began. The brightest minds in psychology, neuroscience, and even lucid dreaming were recruited. Their mission: to train a new kind of soldier, dream warriors. In a secret facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Evelyn Marsh stood before a group of recruits. Her eyes, once filled with fear, now blazed with determination. "What we're about to do," she began, her voice steady, "goes against everything you've been taught. You won't be fighting with your bodies, but with your minds. The battlefield is the realm of dreams and nightmares. And trust me, it's more real than you can imagine." As the training progressed, humanity's defenders learned to navigate the treacherous waters of the subconscious. They faced their deepest fears, confronted their darkest memories, and emerged stronger. But the thought forms were evolving. In Paris, the Eiffel Tower twisted into an impossible Mobius strip, trapping tourists in a loop of perpetual vertigo. In Rio de Janeiro, the Christ the Redeemer statue wept tears of darkness that spawned crawling horrors. Dr. Quantum, working tirelessly with her team, made a breakthrough. "The alien tech," she explained to General Ironside, "it's not just transmitting nightmares. It's tapping into the collective unconscious. We're not just fighting our own fears, but the archetypal terrors of our entire species." As the situation escalated, Vex Thor, now held in a psychically shielded cell, began to laugh maniacally. "You don't understand," he shrieked at his guards. "You've opened a door that can never be closed. The dreamscape, it's alive." In the training facility, Evelyn sensed a shift. During a deep meditation session, she felt a presence, vast, ancient and utterly alien. Her eyes snapped open, filled with a mix of awe and terror. "Dr. Quantum," she gasped, I think we've attracted the attention of something bigger. Something that's been waiting for us to notice it." As alarms blared and the facility went into lockdown, Evelyn realized that the battle against the Oneirophage was just the beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, one where the boundaries between thought and reality, dream and nightmare, were far more fluid than anyone had ever imagined. General Ironside's voice crackled over the intercom, tense but resolute. "All Dream Warrior units, this is not a drill. Operation Mindstorm is now in full effect. May God have mercy on our souls." As the Dream Warriors prepared for their first true battle, Evelyn Marsh stood at the forefront, her mind a beacon in the psychic storm that was engulfing the planet. The war for humanity's dreams, and perhaps its very soul, was about to begin in earnest. And somewhere in the vast, uncharted realms of the dreamscape, something ancient stirred, awakened by the psychic tremors of a species on the brink of a cosmic awakening. The dreamscape pulsed with ethereal energy as Evelyn Marsh led her team of Dream Warriors into the fray. The realm before them was a kaleidoscope of human imagination and alien influence, a battlefield where thoughts became reality and fears took physical form. "Remember your training," Evelyn's voice echoed in their minds. "Your will is your weapon. Your courage, your shield." As they advanced, the landscape shifted. New York's skyline melted into Tokyo's, which then fractured into Lagos streets. Reality was fluid here, molded by collective consciousness and corrupted by alien technology. Dr. Quantum's voice crackled through their neural links. "The thought forms are concentrating. They're merging." Before the Dream Warrior's eyes, the scattered nightmares coalesced into a towering monstrosity. It was an abomination of twisted metal and writhing flesh, a fusion of humanity's darkest fears and the dying thoughts of the Oneirophage fleet. "Holy shit!" one of the warriors exclaimed, his mental projection flickering with terror. Evelyn steeled herself. "Focus. Remember, this thing feeds on fear. We fight it with hope, with courage, with everything that makes us human." As the battle raged, the physical world mirrored the conflict. Major cities worldwide reported strange phenomena: gravity fluctuations, time dilation, even localized reality warps. In his secured facility, Vexthor thrashed against his restraints, his mind linked to the dreamscape through alien tech. "You fools!" he shrieked. "You've awakened IT, the dreamer between worlds." General Ironside, monitoring the situation from a fortified bunker, turned to Dr. Quantum. "What the hell is he talking about?" Dr. Quantum's face paled. There's a theory that our universe, all universes, are but dreams of a cosmic entity. If that's true, and we've attracted its attention." Her words were cut short as a tremor shook the facility. Across the globe, every screen, every speaker, every device capable of transmission came to life with a single, unified message. "I am awakened." In the dreamscape, Evelyn and her team found themselves faced not just with a nightmare amalgamation, but with something far vaster. The very fabric of the realm seemed to shift, revealing glimpses of other worlds, other realities. "Evelyn," Dr. Quantum's panicked voice cut through. "The psychic readings? They're off the charts. Whatever this entity is, it's trying to fully manifest in our reality." Evelyn, her mind expanded by her experiences, suddenly understood. "No," she said calmly. "It's not trying to enter our world. It's trying to wake up. And if it does, all of reality will cease to exist." Vexthor's voice echoed in their minds, a mix of awe and terror. The nightmare creature before them roared, but now it seemed almost insignificant compared to the cosmic drama unfolding around them. Evelyn made a decision. "Dream Warriors, new objective. We need to sing a cosmic lullaby." "What?" The response came simultaneously from her team, Dr. Quantum, and General Ironside. "Trust me." Evelyn closed her eyes, reaching out with her mind. "Everyone, focus on peace, on calm. Think of starry nights, of gentle waves, of soft breezes. We need to ease the dreamer back to sleep. As understanding dawned, the dream warriors joined their leader. In the physical world, Dr. Quantum quickly relayed the plan. Soon across the globe, people were urged to meditate, to think peaceful thoughts, to create a collective calming influence. The dreamscape shimmered. The nightmarish amalgamation before them began to dissolve as the fear feeding it was replaced by tranquility. The vast cosmic presence that had begun to stir settled, its unfathomable awareness slowly receding. In his cell, Vexthor watched in disbelief. "Impossible," he whispered. They're doing it." Hours passed like seconds, and seconds stretched into eternities. Finally, Evelyn opened her eyes. The dreamscape around them had transformed. Gone were the twisted horrors and alien geometries. Instead, they floated in a sea of gentle starlight. We did it," she breathed. As the dream warriors began to withdraw from the dreamscape, Evelyn felt a final ripple of cosmic awareness brush against her mind. It carried no words, but she understood its meaning, a mix of gratitude, amusement, and a gentle warning. This would not be the last time humanity danced on the edge of cosmic awakening. In the aftermath, as the world began to recover from the psychic invasion, changes were evident. People spoke of increased intuition, of shared dreams, of a greater sense of global unity. Vexthor, the last of the Oneirophage, was brought before a council of world leaders. "Your actions nearly destroyed us all," General Ironside growled. The alien, his arrogance long gone, bowed his head. "We came seeking power," he said softly. "Instead, we found enlightenment. Your species. You are more than we ever imagined." As Evelyn Marsh stood at the window of the facility, gazing at the stars, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Humanity had faced its collective nightmares and emerged stronger. They had touched the mind of a cosmic dreamer and lived to tell the tale. Whatever came next, be it from the depths of space or the uncharted realms of consciousness, humanity would face it with newfound strength and unity. For in confronting the darkness, they had found their light. And in the vast dreamscape of existence, that light would shine as a beacon for ages to come.